Hi, I'm Faith from the McAuliffe-Shepard Discovery Center, and thanks for joining me for today's virtual story time. Now today I'm going to be reading a book that I love. It's called A Seed Is Sleepy, written by Dianna Hutts Aston and illustrated by Sylvia Long. And parents, I actually got this from my local library, so check that opportunity out and see if it's available to you. It was super easy for me. I called my library, I knew what book I wanted, they found it for me on the shelves and left it outside on a table for curbside pickup. And when I turn it in, it'll go through a quarantine and sanitation procedure before anyone else can check it out. But that was super easy and convenient. So, our distance learning theme this week is plants, which of course is a very important form of life on our home planet of Earth. And in honor of Plant Week, I am going to read A Seed Is Sleepy by Dianna Hutts Aston. A seed is sleepy. It lies there, tucked inside its flower, on its cone, or beneath the soil. Snug, still. A seed is secretive. It does not reveal itself too quickly. Most seeds sleep through a season or two, waiting for the warmer temperatures of spring, but some take their time. 10 years might pass before the bright red-orange seed of the Texas mountain laurel shows its purple blooms. A seed is fruitful. 90% of the plants on Earth are flowering plants. Flowering plants produce fruits of all shapes and textures that keep the seeds cozy until they have found the right place to grow. A seed is naked. Yes, naked. Scientists call gymnosperms, seeds that aren't clothed in fruits, naked seeds. Most naked seeds hide themselves on the scales of cones until they're ready to make a dash for the ground. Who would guess that a seed as small as a freckle would grow into the world's tallest tree? Only 10% of redwood trees begin as seeds, though. Most redwood trees spring from existing trees. Seeds come in many sizes. The orchid seed is the smallest of all. There might be 1 million seeds in one pod. The seed of the Coco de Mer palm is the largest. It can weigh up to 60 pounds. A seed is adventurous. It must strike out on its own in search of a less crowded place to put down roots. A parachute of fine, silky hairs can take a dandelion seed 100 miles from its parent plant. Drift seeds float on ocean currents from one shore to another, and their thick protective shells keep out seawater. We have hog plum, monkey's comb, black palm, hamburger bean, a sea coconut, Mary's bean, ear pod, and a monkey ladder pod, and a sea heart. Oh, and a swamp palm. Wow. A seed is inventive. To find a spot to grow, a seed might leap from its pod, or cling to a child's shoestring, or tumble through a bear's belly. A seed hopes to land where there is plenty of sunlight, soil, and water. A seed is generous. It gives the baby plant, or embryo, a seed coat to keep it warm. The embryo's first meal comes from its seed leaves, or cotyledons. Seeds with one seed leaf, like corn, are called monocots. Seeds with 2 seed leaves, like beans, are called dicots. So here we see there's a seed. Inside is the seed leaf, the cotyledon. Here's a root or radicle. Here's the shoot, the plumule. that will grow up and become the big bean plant eventually. And outside all of it is a seed coat. And over here, we see several kinds of plants. A bean goes from a seed to a full mature bean pod in 5 weeks. Rice goes from a grain of rice to the full plant in 4 months. A pumpkin, oh, I like pumpkin seeds. A pumpkin goes from a seed to a full mature pumpkin in 4 months. A slash pine takes 15 years to go from a seed to a full tree. And teak, that's another kind of tree, that takes about a year. Interesting. Some seeds are ancient. Not all seeds are eager to germinate. Some have lain dormant or slept undisturbed for more than 1,000 years. The oldest known seed to sprout came from an extinct date palm tree. After it was unearthed from a long ago king's mountaintop palace in Israel, a scientist planted it. 4 weeks later, it sprouted. A seed is thirsty and hungry. Once a seed has shed its coat, it drinks in the rain and dew and yesterday's icicles. It feasts on minerals in the soil. Part of the seed, the root, feels the tug of gravity and digs down deep. Another part of the seed, the shoot, is sensitive to light, so it reaches for the sun. A seed is clever. It knows to seek the sunlight, to push itself up, up, up through the soil, but it must wait a while before that happens. Plants make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. Inside plant leaves are cells containing chemicals that absorb sunlight. Light gives them the energy they need to turn water and carbon dioxide, a gas in the air, into food. A seed is sleepy, but only until it has found a place in the sun and it has had its breakfast and a drink of water. Then a seed is awake. I just love that book, and I hope you had a good time with today's virtual story time. Check our blog for more distance learning activities. The theme of this week is plants, and we'll have a whole new theme next week, including virtual story times and activities and lessons for learners of all ages. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.